and then win a major. So for me, like, I wonder, how does OG approach the draft? What do they ban out against Team Liquid? What's the critical thing they actually try and attack? Because if they let Team Liquid kind of just do their normal draft, their normal gameplay, I feel like OG's not going to be in this game at all, and it won't be the close game we're both hoping for. But we're about to find out. The draft is already beginning, so we shall see how Fly wants to put the first foot forward, as he is the first ban, first pick.
The obvious first hero to talk about is Io.
Yep.
Something Liquid grabs regularly. They've been very effective with it when they do grab it. It makes their lanes very strong. But
I'm wondering about the rotation heroes as well from GH. Like, if we look to the ES, but then it's like how do you stop it? Like, you can ban the IO, you've got ES, you've got Coral. Like, if you want to start focusing GH instead, I'm okay with banning out the global, like taking out heroes like IO, just so you don't have that problem if they jump behind.
I feel like GH has been playing a lot of heroes like Elder Titan. Maybe that's just because I think he played it earlier today. It's all the games kind of blend together, but a rare Coddle ban, something that happened constantly last tournament, is gonna come back here for the finals. Maybe this means that OG wants to take Nature's Prophet in the first phase.
You had ESAA from Liquid earlier today.
Yeah, the Earthshake, or the Earth Spirit.
The ET was by OG.
Elder Titan.
Yeah, the Elder Titan was from OG.
Okay, so I have it the other way around. My bad.
You won't see him anyway. Liquid's going to ban him out in the second phase, so no ET, no Tiny.
I think Earth Spirit's another big hero that's very likely to be drafted. JRX has been playing it fairly well. Maybe they had some issues the other day, but I feel like the heroes had a decent win rate. Very capable gank hero in the early mid game.
At the moment, both teams are letting it through. In fact, they will through the first phase. Jara is the final one, and it was more of a focus from Fly on Kuro's Chen, no overwhelming pushing, and no GH Keeper of the Light in this game.
We have a Naga Siren. We have a Terrorblade that's gone through, which I think is fairly worth talking about, since it's I think Liquid does prioritize that hero. Seems like when Miracle gets it, they win.
Do you want to open with Terrorblade, or do you want to just go with the Razor?
Yeah, Razor's actually also extremely likely here. There's a lot of good tier 1 heroes. I think Prophet is a potential, and they end up going for the Earth Spirit. I think that definitely suits JRX's playstyle, gives him pretty strong, decent dual lane, very strong like mid game, like the 4 to 10 minute period for laning stage, very strong there, and pretty good late game on top of that. But I think Prophet, Razor, Terrorblade, these are the core heroes to be looking at as potential picks by Liquid side, and we'll see what they go for.
Yeah. I like the fact that OG had so many smiles in their room. Like, there was a little bit of a joke going around. We went straight to JRX's face with a smiley face from him. Here's the SK as well as the DK from Team Liquid. So, 2 huge staple pickups of the tournament.
Yeah, Sanking is definitely the other hero, at least offlane / support wise, that has been pretty consistent. The other hero I was thinking about was AA, in terms of his ability to win lanes, and like, I feel like something that's really valuable right now is the ability to blink, instantly stun somebody, and then kill a hero regardless of who they are. I think AA really facilitates that, Sanking really facilitates that. In a lot of ways, Dragon Knight does as well. It's another stun initiation that's fairly instant, and does give Liquid these options once they hit mid-game to go around and just create space, get kills, which therefore lead into Roshan towers.
I'm almost waiting for like the Batrider pickup, just so OG can do what Team Liquid.
Yeah, just stomp the Dragon Knight in lane.
Yeah, potentially, or at least force Liquid to be pushed into lanes which they may not want to do. It wouldn't be bad for S4. I guess we'll be very happy to have it on the off lane too.
That sentence just seems so foreign to me. Force Liquid the lanes that they don't want. Like, I feel like no matter what, they have control over their ability to do this. Like, I feel like they're never on the back foot that way. They're the ones that are always more willing to step out of their comfort zone because of the fact that they can just take whatever player they want of their 3 cores and put them mid safe or off lane. Like, all of them can play pretty much every core role.
Well, this feels like a very safe approach from OG.
I like it. I think No-Tail's Death Prophet has been, or I'm sorry, I guess it has been mostly No-Tail Death Prophet, now that I think about it. But I think his Death Prophet has been very solid. It's not maybe the biggest resolution hero, but it's somebody that can sacrifice a little bit and kind of be the front of the team in terms of pressure. And I think it's something that teams that maybe not as confident in the meta right now, it's really safe and strong for them to kind of resolve around this one hero.
Yeah.
Item build's pretty straightforward. Go like Yules with Medana or Solar Crest. Then it's just kind of hard to die. Maybe he'll need like a Hood or a BKB this game.
Yeah. I always just wonder, like, it's great as long as you can have a follow-up, as long as you actually can have the team fight you want, but if Team Liquid are capable of just disengaging from the exorcism, if they're capable of, like, stopping the push, this, for me, is very dangerous for OG because they can't force the issue. And then what are you doing? Like, it's GRX who wants to initiate in. That's why I was kind of hoping you'd have a little bit more of a flashier style hero. But if you delay this, now, what do you get? Like, if this is potentially resolution or no tail, what's going to be your big core that carries you? We've seen Death Prophets fall off during this tournament already. Do you have to then go something a little bit more early game based? Do you go even late game and to say the Death Prophet will create space, go more?
I would say late game she's more vulnerable than she is early game. Like early game she's such a good tempo setter with Exorcism because it turns into objectives, whether it's towers or Roche or early gank fights. It is cooldown limited obviously, but I think it's strong in a lot of other areas. Good at team fighting, I think it's safe to say. Even like the silence is definitely impactful at times. OG banning the AA, which obviously combos for a guaranteed kill with Dragon Knight or Sanking at early and mid-game stages. And we'll see the TB ban in the second phase. Definitely a lot safer for Liquid to not open with it. I thought maybe they would consider prioritizing it, but I think obviously they're such a confident team. They know their roles, they know their drafting, that they're able to open with something that's less counterable in the first phase.
It's still very hard for them too, though. Like, yeah, less counterable on the early phase, but this is a best of one against OG. If they don't get this exactly right, they'll have trouble, and Warlock is the hero that comes in, so a lot more team fight being lacquered on right now for Team Liquid, and OG need to think about the save, or at least some kind of range battle.
Really strong laning. Fatal Bonds with Sanking, Epicenter potentially is amazing damage output. They also ban Witch Doctor, which is pretty sure Fly's best hero right now. And OmniNet works out amazing with Death Prophet as well. Just makes the hero so much harder to kill at early to mid stages of the game, and obviously he's a strong laner. So they're trying to force OG to have to grab heroes that are exploitable, and they've also been covered by grabbing a Warlock.
No, I wish I called that. I was sitting in my head, it's just like, well, if Fly can't play Witch Doctor, he's got to play Dazzle, right?
It is one of his classic heroes for sure.
It's exactly where he heads.
And it's something we haven't seen that often, actually. I think it's not very picked in this tournament. Is the
it doesn't have as many combo heroes as it used to. Like Death Prophet was actually one of the heroes that Dazzle used to combo with a lot, but like back when Huskar was even thought about being selected,
still could be.
Yeah, we could have a Huskar game. It would have been really great against a hero like a Gyrocopter because the increase in armor kind of makes a lot of the physical damage just go at the wayside.
It's okay,
but Liquid have a good mix of physical and magical, or will.
It's a good way to keep Death Prophet alive. If they have an Earth Spirit with a Dazzle, it'll help offset the fact that Dazzle can't gank very well. But between like heals and Weave, the best thing about this, and this is kind of like maybe one of the first, maybe this was Manila Major or the first major that OG won. It was Manila, right? I believe that was I think it was Manila.
The first major that OG won would have been Frankfurt, the first ever major.
Oh yeah,
the only major they didn't as in like back before we had this system, the only major they didn't win was Shanghai.
That's right. Yeah, Frankfurt was the first one. But anyways, OG's Dazzle is super common. They've been doing this forever. Sometimes like Huskar cheesing. They've also always been very good at just like pushing and staying alive with Dazzle and just kind of slowly overpowering your opponents and taking the win.
Well, the Enchantress gets picked up. So we'll see if OG actually want to get a little bit closer with their fighters. Ursa Warrior, a nice pickup and Lifestealer against the Enchantress. They will have that Dazzle to enable a frontline jumper.
It's also going to be really good in lane too. I feel like Dazzle can beat it potentially, depending on what the core that they match with it is. Maybe something like an Ursa looks appealing to OG right now.
Ursa or Lifestealer is what I was thinking.
Both would be very good, for sure. They could Lifestealer because the Earth Spirit. I think those are definitely a really good prediction. Ursa's a little bit weak against Dragon Knight, but if he gets an Nags potentially, he can interrupt any of those jump combos that Sanking or Dragon Knight wants to do. So I think either of those could be pretty solid. Not very good at hitting towers outside of Exorcism. That's the only big negative. But they could grab other carries and still beat Enchantress.
The Morphling is one of the other ones that's still floating around in my head, just because just how powerful it is. I don't know how it would work as far as laning and timing go, but you'd at least have that magical pop that the Enchantress can't protect against.
Could work. They end up grabbing. There's that Batrider against Dragon Knight. Well, if might be that matchup, could be Enchantress perhaps. I feel like that's another potential win lane. They do ban the Huskar just in case.
No cheese, please. No cheese. Only the ones that come from Roshan.
OG not surprised there at all. Huskar can work. Maybe it would have been okay that game. If he gets like enough HP where the chain stun isn't the most dangerous thing, and he gets some evasion, he certainly could just snowball the enemy team.
It would have been the problem. Like the problem on the front lines while Death Prophet is just ripping you and combining with the Batrider initiation. Like, I'm liking the vision, I'm liking the initiation. This is OG, like, being able to set the pace as far as initiation goes. Liquid will set the pace as far as what fights do we actually want to take.
OG definitely needs a lot of damage right now that isn't cooldown reliant as well.
Yep.
So right now it's just Exorcism, Batrider, Lasso, and the thing that...
That's where Ursa and Lifesteal still just make sense for me.
Yeah, the thing that EG had trouble with when they played their... I'm sorry, that Liquid had trouble with when they played Batrider versus Dragon Knight, is once they hit the mid-game, they didn't have that much carry potential. I think it was just a PL or something like that, and Batrider had a great early game, but he just doesn't transition outside of disabling heroes and kind of doing damage. At some point, people get solutions, so... PL would have been very survivable against Batrider, can doppelgang against the Napalm. Difficult to lasso, difficult to fight.
As we saw, like, there was that 4-second cooldown time on Doppelganger in a game yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, it's 3 seconds.
3 seconds?
So good. And the PL ban could honestly say either Ursa or Lifestealer. Maybe more likely Ursa, but both heroes are a little bit bad in terms of AoE.
Well, they got 10 seconds to choose, so OG, they're going to go for Lycan.
Another physical damage hero. Some teams, Complexity grabbed a Lycan against Enchantress. It actually worked out pretty well. I think it was Enchant. But high physical damage, very good at pushing towers, can also split push. A lot of summons. I think this is a pretty solid pick. They're going to have some damage issues against Dragonite, but between Spirit Siphon and some of the magic damage they have, I think this is a pretty good grab.
I'm still concerned though, like, as you're saying, like, it's the cooldown timer, right? And you got to wait for Shapeshift to come back up again. Yeah. It's
I agree, but they can take Roche, for example. They can push towers. If they just kill the enemy team, they're fine. And Shapeshift's not the longest cooldown. It's bad, obviously, level 1, but as the game continues, it becomes more reasonable. And yes, he still has to worry about things like losing his Necro 3 creeps to whatever Enchantress wants to steal, and she can take his Helm of the Dominator creeps. But I think the Lycan definitely gives them a lot of what they want. It's way better at tower pushing than either Lifestealer or Ursa.
Yeah, definitely.
So for that reason, Lycan is not a bad pick.
Yeah, for the heal bombs with wolves and minions, I'd like to see one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, so Team Liquid, 13 seconds to wrap it up. They still need their one position, their hard farmer.
And they don't have the best AoE right now. I could see... I don't know if something Battle Fury makes sense, but...
Juggernaut.
Yeah, they can kill Lycan stuff really easily with this, and I think that's one of the places that they're not in the strongest position. They don't have good wave clear outside of, like, Sand King and Dragon Knight, so if he picks up a Battle Fury, he can clear waves, he can push towers, push waves very fast, whereas the other Liquid heroes have issues with that late game. And Jug Spin will at least protect him a bit while the Batrider lassos him if that happens. I guess Omni Slash is a little bit neutered by Lycan summons is one of the negatives, but...
Yeah. It could also just be, like, so... I'm liking both sides of the draft. I'm liking Liquid as far as being just a team right now, the way they play a little bit more, but I'm kind of liking OG's draft a little bit more. Primarily because I think OG have still better initiation. They have better abilities to actually chain. They got better, like, they got a lot of great push power that's behind them, and they've still got that save that comes from the Dazzle. So this single target, which you may want to try and go for with the Omni Slash, or the target against Dragon Tail, you're not going to instantly get that kill. It's not a guarantee.
That's assuming it's not Dazzle that gets gone on. I just feel like it feels like OG's draft is a lot better in terms of, like, save, sort of team fight push, whereas on the Liquid side, their laning seems stronger, their execution and ganks is way easier, their cooldowns are lower. There's a lot of benefits, I think, to Liquid's draft, but I think if OG gets a bit of an advantage, they have some Jug solutions, they can maybe roll over this game with the heroes they have, especially if they get big advantage. They're definitely way better early pushing.
And we'll see how they roll. Right now, S4's gonna be on that Batrider up on the top lane, while the other four smoking up and heading down south for OG. It's a Jirax ES, Resolution Death Prophet, Fly on the Dazzle, and leaves No-Tail on that Lycan. Putting up towards top is Mind Controller's the Enchantress. There'll be offlane support for the SKGH. Miracle will be the Juggernaut. Currently, we will assume nothing. Matumberman could also be playing that mid role if they want to as the DK, and then Kuro supporting Warlock on the bottom, so the Juggernaut and the DK can bounce wherever they want to, once they feel the lane's right. And there's been no full information yet, apart from spotting the Batrider for half a second, I think, on the top.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid's lanes are a lot more obvious in this case. Enchantress is almost always going to go off lane and pressure a hero, but looks like it's just going to be Batrider, which is definitely a decent matchup there. Pretty good 1v1. He doesn't really care if he can't attack very fast, because he can just stand on top of Enchantress. If he can catch her, she's way faster than he is. That's one benefit that she has. She basically already has boots. And then I think another really crucial part of this game is the potential for Fly to just shut down any of Miracle's early rotations. I think if he can keep people alive through Omni Slashes and some of those first movements, then Miracle's ability to tempo the game is going to be way different. But it's still Miracle, so I kind of feel like he's going to be able to do this and maybe outsmart Fly a little bit, because he outsmarts almost every Dota play in the world. But if Fly can catch those rotations or be in the right place at the right time, it'll make a huge difference.
They're already starting their walking rotations. This was being watched by Jirax. They have the observer board on bottom that sees the fact that Kuro is still remaining exactly where he is. So yeah, Miracle goes top, Mind Control goes bottom. And have they already done their own switch here, OG? Because S4 has now ended up on the bottom lane. They're rolling Boulder into mid, just saying hello to the DK at the very beginning. Not much more than that. Yeah, Kuro's already realizing it, and because the Juggernaut's taken all that time to walk, they now TP into their lane. So Mind Control is just TP top after walking all the way to bottom, and Miracle has done vice versa.
And technically, OG can do the same thing. No-Tail walked all the way top, so he could also recognize the lane and be like, I'm out here. In fact, the map is...
Strike up on top. Trouble right now for Fly. He's trying to retreat back in time. He went for Shadow... He went for the Shadow Wave, and not the Shallow Grave, of course.
Yeah.
Trying to get a little bit more aggressive, and he gets gone on.
He's trying to nuke the wave there, but just way too much damage. No-Tail also had to use Howl level 1, which is a big loss for his laning stage. Pretty big mistake there by Fly. Not good. And
S4 being spun on the bottom lane. Upheaval is down as well, so No-Tail gets back underneath the tower, but on bottom lane, S4, he won't have the life, tries to juke it through the tree line, needs more regeneration time. Miracle can't keep up.
Wow.
And with the sticky napalm, he can't turn around in time either. Jirax was keeping Kuro occupied while all that was going on. Now they want a rolling boulder forward onto Miracle. Miracle has 7 stick charges, however, so this is going to be a very difficult kill for them to claim, and TP's coming in from GH. OG will break off the attack, and in fact, the TP was only posturing. He never completed.
Yeah, looked like that was going to be a jug kill, but S4 did check. He had 8 wand charges there, so there's no way that he was actually going to die without some crazy tower diving. Impressive that S4 didn't go down, though. I thought for sure he was going to die. And ultimately, OG getting the worst of the traits here. They get the first blood on the top support, whereas the Warlock on the other side of the map gets fast level 2.
Kuro in trouble with Jirax and S4 right behind him. No real way to escape from this one, and thanks to the TP already being burned by GH previously, support cannot come in soon enough.
Yeah.
So Kuro will die. They do drag the offlaner off, but it's still a good kill for S4.
Yeah, that's huge, actually. That's going to give him boots. They didn't burn the charges either, so at least Warlock has a 10 stick. Ultimately, No-Tail's not having the best time, sitting at 3 last hits compared to the 10 on all 3 cores on Liquid side. So yeah. Liquid's going to be happy with how this game started.
Yeah. But as you said, Liquid were expecting this. Their laning phase was meant to be absolutely amazing. That's why the pressure is on players like Jirax to do this type of stuff. He rolling boulders in on Kuro on the bottom, but Fly, he can't let this happen. He can at least Shadow Wave and do some decent damage if they want to stick around him. That's why GH is giving a little bit more space. Okay, he still took the damage. It's a level 1, Shallow Grave. Oh. Fly stands his ground. One more attack. Can he actually get the range for it? No, he can't. And then he tries to touch the untouchable Mind Control. 2 points up for him. Miracle's in trouble. 3 sticky napalm charges, but back out to the safety of the tier 1 tower and the armor that comes along with it.
It's a pretty tough lane here for Miracle, actually. He's got 10 seconds left on spin. On the bright side, he's not going to have any mana problems here, because anytime he casts a couple sticky napalms, takes like 7 or something, he's got another spin, which is normally not something that Juggernaut can afford to do. I
am surprised that OG didn't switch their lanes up. Like, we talked about the fact that Team... Oh, okay, Jirax rolling boulders out, can't do so. Miracle body blocks him perfectly. But yeah, surprised that you didn't actually just throw the Batrider up to the top lane, let No-Tail play the bottom, because they had the TPs available, and it was Liquid who were changing the lanes up to get these matchups.
They did, but on the bright side, I guess if Lycan goes to the safe lane, that he has control over his own pulls. So maybe it was just like, we'll try to outsmart them, but if it doesn't work, we don't want to play like lane fast. What's that chair game?
Musical chairs.
Musical chairs. Thank you, man.
Musical
almost
lanes.
said roulette. I was like, nobody's shooting themselves here.
Please. Well, depends what type of roulette you're playing for that type.
True. So lane-wise, last hits, still a moderate advantage for Liquid. Being up 1k gold at the 4-minute mark is pretty big.
They're about to go on top lane. They already hit with the Hadouken Blast, and support is there. Fly was waiting for it. GH is burrow striking thanks to that Observer and Sentry on the other side of the tree line. OG know exactly what's coming at him. That's why Fly has to hold this Shallow Grave.
He's fine, though. I mean, No-Tail's got a Ring of Regen picked up. He's got a Mango for a potential wand later.
And he's got CS
2
finally.
points, a Feral Impulse. So he's actually got a lot of regen, almost 20 with the Tango usage. So he can take this tank. And from here on, he should be fine in terms of last hitting.
They're bringing Jirax to the north. you've still got vision thanks to the Obs and Sentry, and this is nighttime. So Team Liquid may not be exactly certain what's up.
This is pretty good gank potential, especially if they get Wolves on top of whoever they go on. Wolves plus the Shadow Wave could make a lot of damage difference, and JerAx has 2 points in Boulder Smash as well, so 1 second stun duration, decent damage from him. And
GH, it's the wraparound. He's got to get both of them flying. No tell. It's a level 2 Bucharest, so he had a chance for it, but it would have brought him underneath the tower. So now he just goes in. It's on to Fly. They want him down, rolling boulder. JerAx comes back into the engagement. He's after GH for the moment. Fly will survive, but GH will not be so lucky. Down the hill towards the center, cannot make it in time. So no tell. Patience is rewarded on the top, not finding not only CS, but his first kill of the game.
Trying to roll out, who barely escapes there. That was pretty scary. If that actually caught on top of my controller, there's a high chance he goes down. But Fly's going to lose his clarity, just use this, and now he's going to be forced to use Grave again. Although he's got a big heal.
He needs friends. He needs JerAx to not miss the kick, but my control went left when the kick went right.
Pretty unfortunate from there. Matoma Man is also level 6 here, got a little bit of a level advantage against Resolution. But either way, their last sets are very equal, so I don't think either player is going to be too upset with how this went.
S4 is having a really good time on bottom. He's able to start contesting any of these stacks which are coming up for Team Liquid, but also controlling the runes by doing so.
Yeah.
So multiple bounties, a good start for a Batrider is a good start for OG, mainly because they need to have that good initiation from him.
They're putting a lot of effort on this possible Dragon Knight kill here. I think it's a good attempt. They can do Exorcism. Okay, they just use a Mango on Resolution to go for this potential kill here. He's got Exorcism and Chase.
Bakura just saw S4. He saw him trying to flank around the back, pinged it out instantly. Yeah, and they just lost their Dire Observer Ward too.
Yep. This gank is over, and that's really bad for OG. Burn a Mango, rotated 4 heroes to the lane. That means they're not doing anything. In off lane right now, levels-wise, Rezo says my bad. Maybe they wanted full mana, more mana so that before they went on this fight. I'm not sure, but it would have been pretty tough.
Well, maybe they can at least get the courier. Flying out of Wraith Band to the bottom.
Good luck. That's like 5 hits from a Batrider or something.
Can JerAx stone a courier?
Oh, they're going to try.
Yeah, they're going to give a crack at the courier while mid lane has a go-to into the Firefly. S4 needs one more attack to get this courier, but it gets back to the safety of the T1 tower. They actually almost got it because the courier went straight over the top of him. Yeah,
it's a pretty good try. Yeah, they moved the courier the right way. He was watching it. It felt like for a second maybe he wasn't paying attention, but that's a Miracle special. He just runs confidently. He knows what to do.
Omni Slash, the damage Wishibar! GH, he didn't even hope throw it.
He was too far away. He would have had to go in right away. So maybe they can get a kill on JerAx though if they get the Burrow Strike off.
No-Tail's in a little bit of trouble right next to Roshan, standing Dragon Tail stunned up. The Shadow Word's on him as well, so a lot of tick damage. JerAx does die in the bottom, and No-Tail tries to reach Roshan for denial, but all a little bit too slow, so Team Liquid. 2 nice kills, and more space for Miracle to do damage to the bottom tower.
I mean, those are just both good kills. Pick off the 4 position and the carry. Not a good place to be for OG right now. And they're kind of moving around, trying to get stuff done. Batrider's not 6 yet. Fly's only level 3. He does finally get his boots of speed, but they're kind of just losing all the lanes right now. 3k gold disadvantage at 8 minutes is a huge disadvantage.
They're going to rotate in towards mid lane again. They're going to give a crack towards Matombaman. This time around, there's no support from Team Liquid ready to be there. But they have to get that Firefly Sticky Napalm, slow down Matombaman, and they did it at the perfect timing. Spirit Siphon and Exorcism. That's just way too much damage for Matombaman to deal with. While JerAx on the bottom, Burrow striked up, Miracle finishes up the tower, while Mind Control takes one of his own, and JerAx can't rolling boulder out. GH was there to block it, but it won't matter. This is still 2 tier 1 towers for the DK.
I mean, OG can do some good tower damage mid at least. Crypt Swarm's used, got 30% or so of Exorcism left, and it's time to walk.
Yeah, TP's coming in from GH.
I mean, it's basically perfect circumstance for OG. They get an Exorcism activation, they kill the enemy hero, and instantly the creep wave is dead and they're hitting a tower. So it forces a glyph. They do a lot of damage to the tower, and if that happens again, the tower's gone.
I think they're asking for help on bottom. Miracle starting his spin. He hasn't used his TP yet, so if they want to have a crack at him, a TP down to the shrine will be all that's really required. That Resolution is here with Fly at the shrine. Miracle stands his ground. The Healing Ward's giving him life back to fight, but there's no Omni Slash. Spins off cooldown in 1 second. And now Miracle can actually spin TP out if he wants to.
Ooh, Fly can buy another ward with that kill.
GH. No, lost the vision.
About 6 on back here. GH is going to go in probably, but they don't have follow-up just yet. That was actually a little bit over.
Spirit Siphon on GH. He needs to go invis. Sandstorm's available. Here comes No-Tail in dog form. GH does go invis. Where's the detection? Fly brought it. The Sentry Wood's there. So Resolution can claim the kill.
Great rotation. A rare mistake, actually, from Liquid. GH thought that it was time to go in. Liquid backed off at the same time, and they do not catch that one.
Mind Control just TP'd in. The upheaval is down, and OG, well, is only level 1, so they still have the movement speed to back out. But Miracle, he comes in from behind. No Tail and Fly back to the tier 1 tower. No Tail needs more life. The Breathe Fire dropping him so low, but not low enough. Miracle, he could walk out of this one. The healing water's already back up, so they're getting a lot of life back in there. 61 HP regen a second for the TK, and that's the target that OG were thinking of going on, and they instantly regret the decision. Breathe Fire and the spin. So much AoE and Mind Control. Focus firing down with those impediments. No Tail, you know he's dead to rights, and they fatal bonded them up. OG cannot continue this engagement.
The chase looks so good. They had so many stacks on the Dragon Knight, but the Burrow Strike prevented the chase, and from there they could finally turn around and outdamage their opponents. OG feeling like they had some blood for once, that they could get another kill, but they just didn't have enough damage and chase power. There's no boots yet on Lycan. He just picks them up now, but this is their disable problem. Like, 2 stuns makes things easy. Upheaval on top of 2 stuns, they can chase forever. Because right now they're relying on like sticky napalm to get some of this stuff done.
It's the multiple slows, right? Like a sticky napalm, a spirit siphon, but they were also taking that engagement against a full Liquid lineup without burning exorcism because it was already gone. Resolution, okay, stands his ground a little bit longer. Body blocked by his own creep wave. I'm not quite certain if he's trying to force this engagement or not.
This tower is certainly dead.
Yes.
Once Enchantress takes your other catapult and you've got a Dragon Knight ulti committed, yeah, it's over.
They're drawing a line to head north. Observers and sentries go down from Fly. But it's the Observer what the Bat Rider is right on top of. Doesn't have Firefly for S4. It did sticky napalm up the hill, so they sentry ward wondering where the vision was. It doesn't exist there. GH hides in the pit just in case OG keeps the chase going, which they will not. They want to back up again, but the silence onto Miracle. Perfect! Jirax timing it wonderfully. They didn't even need Resolution's 1 point up in silence to make that kill on Juggernaut work.
Yeah, that was perfectly done. It was a very difficult gank, actually, to roll in at the same time, do a silence pull. Like, Miracle, if he spun anticipating that, he would have lived, but Jirax did it just in time.
They can get another kill.
And they get him.
Warlock just threw down the Observer Ward. Jirax, he's uncertain. We're in nighttime again. He didn't have vision when he of Kuro when he smoke broke, but Kuro put down the Observer Ward, so vision was his.
It's just so sick. They're playing so fast. Both teams totally anticipating where the next point on the map that they're going to move, and they put the ward down at the same time. That's exactly why Warlock warded there. Spot these heroes rotating over. Same reason that they warded on their high ground after they lost the tier 1 on OG side. Like, the teams are pretty close here, and it's only 3k advantage now.
Rolling boulder, going after Matumberman. They just magnetize him up. Firefly is down. Resolution holding the exorcism. It's Matumberman with a blown magnetize, not really getting what he wanted, but it gets space. No Tail dominated a siege creep, so he's done so much damage taking out both the tier 1 tower, and now howling up, fortification being burnt, adds pressure to the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, that was totally fine. Magnetize is great ultimate, but
Liquid Ward's perfect for this. They're rolling boulder in, doesn't find GH instantly. Jirax needs to find a good line for the kick. As, well, where is your real target? Jirax just wants to TP out, and OG are bailing as quick as they can.
Yeah, little overestimation there. He thought he could get the kill, or at least there would be a dive worth doing, but it was very dangerous to commit to that. So this is going to give No Tail time to push out the top lane at least. Not all bad for him.
That's good money for farm. A good time for farm to get money, because he got level 1 Necrobook by farming the bottom lane previously.
And Resolution pushes out the mid lane a little bit. Juggernaut's just now queuing up his Battle Fury. Just going to start it. Yasha as well as FaZe. Just like an early team fight, roam, I'm fast kind of build before he goes for the farming items, and this is going to be fine. I think Liquid's still in a good place. They just have to, they're a little bit less able to move around the map, at least until they get their Blink Daggers. And because we're talking about a support Sanking, he's not quite there yet. He's close. 1900 gold on him, 1600 on the Dragon Knight. They're going to get their Blinks, and that's when things change for Liquid. So I would argue that OG needs to get some stuff to happen in the next couple of minutes before these Blinks come up, because if they don't, they're going to be the ones that are getting pressured.
Yep. I actually thought Lycan got more money in that bottom lane. He's still short of the recipe. It's not so bad once he cleaned up top lane, but you're now 350 gold away from Necrobook 1.
He's just got to be careful about how much he pushes out. There's not any towers left on the top lane, at least the tier 1. So safety TPs would be tier 2 or Shrine. So if he gets caught, he has to commit ultimate, and he just used it in that bot fight, or the bot escape maybe. So he's really limited if he gets found.
Matumberman's going for a walk under the Invis rune. He's not in range of the Dire Sentry just yet, so OG don't know where he is. But there's a lot of space being created on the side lanes. Jirax is utilizing him for OG, Mind Control is utilizing him for Liquid. And everyone else has gone bush.
With the Yule Scepter on Death Prophet now, he should be able to potentially have some big plays in team fights. Roche is going to be started by Liquid now, though.
Yep.
So if they can see this coming, it's great ward here in the mid lane by Liquid. It should spot their hero rotations over. Do they have a smoke? They do on fly. So this could be the way they initiate here. But Blink coming on Batrider. It might be a little bit too late, though.
There's a Blink also coming in on GH. So both sides will have their Blink daggers for initiation.
They
walk
need to go
right
now,
over
though.
the top of the observer board. In fact, they smoke on top of the observer board. Liquid, do you commit? Roshan down to 2k HP. The observer board's there. They see 3 heroes backing out of Roshan. And the initiation, it comes onto GH. The Blink dagger is revealed. And
great
a perfect silence and a 3-man kick from Durex with a lasso pulling him back in. The silence with Magnetize continues. What a huge roll. This is why you pick up ES for Durex. Matama will go down as well. A double kill for No Tail. A huge fight, and now they move in to finish Roshan OG. Is there any kind of contest? GH with the Blink dagger sticking about it, but Durex, the Night Watchman, is there, ever ready.
Oh man, that Roche attempt looks so good for Liquid, but OG had a pretty cool play there.
They found GH. They can't close the distance, however. Or can they?
No stones left.
There's the silence. No stones left. The real issue. Resolution moves forward. He can potentially yield and allow them to reposition.
It's time to back.
Yep. So, they just weaved. Well, okay. Kuro, Fatal Bond's going to connect him. Durex starts his TP. Fly, he has one of his own, but he hasn't begun it just yet. He was waiting for GH, and, well, okay, he can't wait much longer. Pyro Strike has already cancelled the TP, and, okay, so Miracle kills him.
That whole Roche thing looked so bad for OG there, but the cool thing they did was they had to wait for the Blink dagger on S4, but they didn't have time to do that. They knew that Roche was getting low, so instead what they did was smoke, and in that way, the ward actually hurt Liquid.
Let's actually have a look at it again. This jump in from Durex. So it's not even just the kick he gets, it's the silence that began it all.
Silence on 3, that let them kill the Warlock before he could turn around, drop ultimate, and from there it was just a chase down situation. And there was Magnetize. That's why Durex has no stones, because he's used so many of them in that team fight. But they used the smoke. Liquid felt like they had to back out because they knew the initiation could be coming. And then Durex was able to cause a little bit of a distraction that led into him getting the silence off. At that point, the Blink dagger got delivered, used to lasso. It was like just in time. They really pulled something out of their sleeves there for OG to win that fight.
Wonderful timing, wonderful positioning, and Team Liquid looking pretty underwhelming, but now they're going to try and find things that actually make the fights work. You talked about the Battle Fury for Miracle, something which he kind of would want to go to anyway so they can clean up the Necro books when they come in. That's his next item in the queue. But it's the fact that he has level 2 in Omni Slash. That fight began for Liquid with a 3 slice from Miracle, but no cleave and only 3 jumps.
Yeah,
so when the damage happened, the Shadow Wave just arrived from Dazzle and repaired everything that he did.
Yeah, and he was about to grave him, and he was like, oh, you're good. You're good. Don't even need to use grave here. I'll just put another heal on you. It was, you know, he did his best, but Batrider was a little too tanky there. If Miracle is more successful in some of those early rotations, I mean, he's 3-1-1. He's not doing bad, but if he had a little bit more levels, could have been a completely different fight.
They're going to go for Mind Control. S4's got Firefly, Blink Dagger, Blink Lasso, drag him back in. They already did the weave as well. GH, Pyro Strike, trying to create some space. Kuro, oh, the silence. Resolution at the right time. Here comes Durex, a 1-2 kick. Way too easy. In GH in the trees, you can try and hide, but you really can't not get burnt. OG, they're just barreling through Liquid. How do they stem this? Bleeding when OG want to keep running. The kicks fly forward. Miracle actually got hit by that. And the Yule Scepter. They've got so much damage available. They're diving underneath tier 4 towers. Resolution gets a triple kill. And they go all the way into tier 4 while the tier 1 is up on top. And that's what Mind Control is running straight back past now. S4 wants to go for more. In 5 seconds, he'll have the Blink Dagger available, and Mind Control begins his TP. There's nothing that will cancel this because Durex's rock won't arrive in time. But that chase.
That was a good chase, man. The Batrider, Death Prophet Lycan situation, all these heroes are made to do this chase thing. Even Earth Spirit's good at it. And the cool thing is that once they have Blink Dagger on Bat, that's really all they need to do these chase things. A couple levels.
Here you go again.
And then they just chase them. It was a good initiation, but the issue is they have no attack speed. They actually can't kill Enchanters right now. And then it becomes, I guess we'll kill the Warlock, and it just got better and better here for OG. And they got away from the epicenter while they were busy chasing.
Unbelievable. Really unbelievable. This is probably the most unstructured fight for Team Liquid that they could ever think that happens, because OG, they're just like, they're juggernauting the front line. I just shatter a couple of shields and I move forward. I thought it was meant to be Liquid riding the horse, but in this case it's OG.
Yeah, they're able to chase him all the way down to the fountain. And I think another crucial part, JRX grabbed a huge silence against Juggernaut as he teleported in, I believe. He basically sat there silent for a couple seconds, and that means no Omni Slash at that part when it matters.
Fly, can you reach that? He can weave it. There's too many stuns. No-Tel had the Aegis Immortal break. S4's nearby. Blink Lasso available. Looking for a target. Matama jumps in. The rock. It actually clicks onto Resolution. The backline's like it's dropping low. He needs a shallow grave, but didn't come in time. Fly, he just doesn't have that range with the level 2 grave, and they're looking for more now, Team Liquid. Lycan's down for 45 seconds. The silence from JRX slowing it down, and a quick kick. Double on that one. Almost actually caught GH. That was saving the life of Dazzle. Rolling Boulder will not function. GH's positioning once again perfect. He understands ES very well.
I mean, Liquid reading that perfectly. All of the ultimates on OG were used. Let's go mid and let's take a fight. And by grabbing Lycan, it actually gave OG time to maybe feel too confident in trying to defend him. Because once he goes down, they can certainly kill him afterwards, and they know there's no exorcism. Maybe there could have been a lasso, but not a good situation there for OG to defend. And they lose 2 heroes. And they're going to lose a tier 2 as well.
Yep, no fortification to delay this. S4 holding a double damage room with not much to do apart from what appears to be farm. But so, Liquid will oblige to this. They're still moving backwards.
And back to push out lanes and the reset. So now we're at a part of the game again where we're kind of equal.
I love this head-to-head matchup too. This is the one we're talking about before we started. S4 versus Mind Control.
They're both playing really well right now. Mind Control's 3-0-6. He's virtually unkillable right now, at least until later when Lycan gets maybe an attack speed item or 2. Going to be picking up an AC. That's a good way to deal with it, but Mind Control constantly pushing out the top lane, pressuring the top tower. But S4 on the other side has been making some really crucial plays and kills. He's also 1-0-7. 0 deaths on either of the offlaners right now.
Yep. I actually want to class Mind Control as the 1 now. He is the top net worth for Team Liquid. Like, Miracle is still behind him. He'll play catch up now the Battle Fury is done.
That's more like he had to build his catapult and now he's ready. The catapult is finished, but either way, yeah, Mind Control is doing great. His pure damage is going to be useful against heroes like Lycan, against Death Prophet later. If he can go through the evasion is maybe the hard part. And Resolution also picking up a BKB soon. That should make his ability to jump in and do exactly what he wants in the fight a little bit easier. Because he's still got to be a little bit worried about things like Fatal Bonds, Upheaval, Chain Stuns, whatever. Omni Slash is definitely going to be an issue for him, even with like Yules and Solar Crest, but if Resolution can get up in front in the fights, then they should be able to relieve some of the pressure that would come on the supports for somebody like Lycan.
Yep. That's why, yeah, Lycan with the AC, they all get some extra armor. In fact, I actually start to wonder, how does Team Liquid do damage in the fights? If you're at a full weave and the Assault Cuirass is up, like, how do you itemize to try and get around that?
They got this Enchantress here that does pure damage. They have a lot of magic damage between Sand King and even Dragonite and Fatal Bonds. All that stuff can definitely do a lot. Worst case, Juggernaut can eventually buy magic damage items. I mean, the Cleave is technically armor ignoring physical damage. That could also work, but they've got some options. I mean, Weave is great, but it's not going to stop all the damage from Liquid side. Good.
Observe Ward from Fly. Scouts out Kuro, and there goes your team fight.
Oh, look at the timing. Creep Wave is at the tower on both mid and bottom. This is basically No-Tail setting this up. He constantly pushed bottom with his Wolves and with his Helm of the Dominator creep, which guarantees that they don't necessarily know where the gank is going to be. And we see a rare mistake where Kuro is just completely blown away. And after getting that tower, they can maybe rotate and do something else. I guess it's just a Warlock. Top. He's not dead forever, so they'll just go back.
Mind Control can TP, but this is why JRX is being sent out to the front lines. He doesn't want to kick her. You gotta wait. Mind Control will get the movement speed, but JRX body blocks. He blinks forward, turns on the Magnetize. Now the kick will come because S4 is in range. And Mind Control, they're gonna put in all the damage. The Necro books are here too. He tries to turn. Oh, GH. It's coming late. Is there going to be enough damage from this? Fly still perfectly positioned in the backlines, so the chase begins from OG. We've seen this once before, and we're going to see it again right now. GH, a Burrow Strike down, will not save him. Resolution will get the kill. Now it's Matubman, next primary target for OG. Support is there with JRX, and there you go. Resolution, double kill, and they actually blink further enough, far enough forward. The Kuro, the man that kind of started this avalanche, dies at the very end of it.
Man, as soon as GH goes in, I knew that was going to be bad for Liquid. They instantly lost their Enchantress. They thought that they maybe could turn things around, but once they committed and Dragonite's there and nobody dies, fight's going to be over because OG, again, the chasing team, man, they didn't even use Exorcism. They were so confident that they were to clean up that fight. Dragonite still doesn't have a BKB. That means Spirit Siphon, that guy's going to die, period. He's losing so much HP from Spirit Siphon damage.
Here comes OG. Necro's off cooldown for No-Tail. They can go once more. GH Sandstorm's well away from the tower.
No glyph.
Yeah, with no clip available, and Exorcism up. This could actually be top racks. You don't even have Dragon Form for 47 seconds. Mind Control will try and fight here.
He's got the DD at least.
He's got the ulti. He needs everyone to group up. But at the moment, there's your lasso. The jump in, Jirax, the two-man silence. Miracle's going down. He needs to live through this. The rock from Kuro with the fatal bonds. That's heavy damage into OG. Fly's doing as much as he can, but he's out of mana. He can't repair it. So GH's Burrow Strike forward kills off Notel and strands Resolution inside the Radiant base. A Yule Scepter, is it going to delay the inevitable? Nope, he gets a lot of life back. GH sits his ground. He's got Burrow Strike available. Connects over towards Dazzle again. Where is his heal? He's got a Shallow Grave up. He goes to the Shadow Wave to begin with, but this Rock Golem on his tail. He can't stay close, and he knows it. Resolution all by himself. You can get a four-man silence. He needs the movement speed with the one charges, and his regeneration. The kick flies forward from Jirax. It'll only catch on the Warlock and the Yule Scepter. Trying to buy time by keeping Matoman up in the air, but Kuro finishes the job. And OG pushed so hard, all they got was a tier 3. Amazing
defense there by Liquid. I can't believe they didn't lose Rax. I thought it was all over once Exorcism comes out and they don't have Glyph, but they were able to turn things around. I think the crucial moment was that Juggernaut throws down his healing ward after he kills the Necro 3. That's the exact moment that OG goes in with the grip, and they were able to kill him, but it took a lot, and he was taking healing ward heal the whole time. And at that point, OG was a little bit overcommitted. The Fatal Bonds hit. There was so much AoE damage being dealt, especially from like Batrider to his allies. I feel like the Fatal Bonds right there won the fight. The Wolves are out. They're scanning out Roshan. Jirax was quick to put Nern Charge. It was his last one onto GH. So GH can't blink initiate for the moment. Jirax waits for it. Magnetize is in 7 seconds. They want to wait for this. Batrider's got the blink lasso. You still don't have the Death Prophet rolling Boulder in. They look for the timing. GH's Burrow Strike's right in the money, while DK controlled for the moment thanks to the lasso, but already ES is down. Fly casts his self-grave. The only way to save it. No tail. Does he still want to fight this one? They've withstood a hell of a lot already, Team Liquid. Licking some wounds, but Roshan by 400. Dropping low. Here comes ES with the buyback. Aegis and Cheese has been gathered. And OG have nothing more to give. In fact, they've hung around so long now that Notel is getting caught out inside the river on the steps. A quick force-off from S4. Tries to create space. And Jirax in again with the silence kick. SK needs to back off. Resolution's bringing the damage. Miracle will be killing off Notel in the tree lines back in the mid lane. But it's Resolution running forward, wanting the revenge onto Matoma and Mind Control, pumping out all the impairs so much. He's only really got 2 left up his sleeve. But that physical damage gets through Matoma finally. It'll cost Jirax his life as Mind Control begins the run, but the Spirits don't care about Untouchable. They'll touch it all over, and goodbye Enchantress. A triple kill for Resolution. You still pushed hard, and the Aegis Immortal was saved on Miracle. What is this game right now? I thought OG was making a giant mistake, and all of a sudden they actually get all the kills. I mean, I know they were waiting for Death Prophet ulti there, but I thought Lycan had fed for sure. He does end up dying, of course, but man, Resolution was able to work down the whole enemy team. That was the BKB for Dragon Knight. That was his first one, 10-second gone. And there was a buyback on Earth Spirit, but if that's all you lose and he's already got a Blink Dagger, I think OG is actually super happy about this. Cheese was used. And how good was his buyback too? Like, he came in and got such huge control factors once more. And what's crazy is he had like he's had 1 stone, I feel like, for 10 minutes. He went in, I was like, I bet he's only got like 1 stone. He does a push, a punch, and that was just enough. Smashes the boulder through, stuns like 3 heroes, and that buys him enough time to chase the rest. It has been a terrific performance from both sides. We'll get to have a watch of it quickly again. Great silence on 4 heroes to buy him a little time. This is where I thought Notail was certainly dead. This 4 staff that actually came in, I guess just S4 on the Radiant side. And then the space, the timing, pushed him up the high ground, and then Jirax gets the kick. I think if Notail had died closer in the river, the fact that Miracle had to chase him this far guarantees that OG wins this fight. Because at this point, Miracle didn't feel comfortable walking all the way over here to take the fight. But if he's there right there, hitting somebody while Matumba Man dies, he can probably kill 1 or 2 more heroes, and the fight doesn't go so OG favored. So props to Notail for juking like that. Well, Team Liquid take out the tier 2 tower up on top. The bottom tower was actually reached the tier 3, but not enough damage to it. So both teams happy to reset after Team Liquid smoke and head back into the jungle. Oh, hi, Notail. Yeah, you better run. You better run. SK's going to fire a strike. Matumban blinks in, gets a Dragon's Helm. They're going to commit the epicenter, and he just needs to outreach the epi. He can't. A little too much damage. Still fairly easy to kill, especially from magic damage stuff. I mean, that's a double stun. I mean, they don't have an AA, so at some point I feel like he's going to be at a position where he can escape from those moments, but it's not quite there yet. Queuing up an AC, some armor would help a little, but that was mostly pure and magic, I feel like. I mean, his armor's not great right now. He's only got 10, so...
Is that the time when you say, hey, maybe I should buy treads? Are you playing this for the long game?
Not really.
I keep brown boots and get BTs later.
I kind of wish he had treads just because it would have helped him against Enchantress in some of that early fight, but it's not an item that Lycans really feel like is needed. Like, you don't change your hero just by you right-clicking. It's more like he wants all these summons and auras. That way, all of his things get better, not just his hero. So, treads was not going to keep him alive there. Maybe a cloak would have, but he's never going to buy that anyways.
Miracle may try and force an issue on bottom. He's still got the Aegis the Immortal for a little bit longer. It's a minute and a half, and then it'll have to be reclaimed.
Kind of interesting that they weren't able to use this, I guess. Maybe OG's just been slow pushing this moment. I suppose it has been, right? Lycan went mid, he used his ulti, he was the penalty there, since
and
OG
Resolution
wants to wait
was
for it to
pushing
wait
bottom.
out.
They TP'd down there to defend that.
Exactly, yeah.
And they're still getting more items, so BKB's becoming a little bit more plentiful. You got one on Matubberman, you got one over on the Enchantress. You've then got the way to stop the heals, so Warlock now has that Spirit Vessel available as well.
That's a good pickup. Very good against Lycan as well.
And Miracle's completing his Lincoln Sphere. So the Courier is making his strip up right now, and this is going to make problems for S4, just like Jirax has a couple of problems. Okay, hey, oh my, what? No!
Oh, okay.
Yes!
That would have
Jirax
been
had
crazy.
to die there.
Just barely gets spotted on the Observer Ward, I think, the one place left. So ends up going down, but not the worst thing for OG. I think the hero to look at right now is Death Prophet. With all of those kills that he got in the last fight, Resolution's picked up a Shiva's Guard now. Oh, so he's actually extremely high armor. Very difficult to be killed.
Here comes S4. Looking towards the mid. Blink, lasso, they got him. And SK's going to have a jump in too, but I don't know if you really want this one. Mind Control, the 10-second BKB has been popped, but that's a lot of physical damage that Resolution has available. And Mind Control, he's just trying to outrun him. What is everything being aggroed into this engagement? But Mind Control will drop.
Yeah, I think OG thought that they would be able to catch a little bit more there with that fight, but it's good at least that they got the Enchantress. I thought they were going to stick to the Sand King since he did not have a BKB, but solidifying around the Enchantress is definitely beneficial. But I wonder, what if Enchantress runs left and then Liquid backs him up? I kind of feel like maybe that should have happened, but either way, OG gets a kill, but it's still for Exorcism, so I don't even think Liquid cares that much.
Yep.
Maybe that was the reason he ran right. Thought like, okay, not an ideal situation. They popped Exorcism, run to the right, make them waste a little bit of time here, and this gives Liquid time then to let Enchant respawn, then they go and take a 5v5 fight on their terms.
I also love the fact, like, during all of that, so while Mind Control was running around, he actually enchanted one of the Necro books and sent it all the way north and actually started pulling the dire creep wave so Miracle could add more pressure as the Juggernaut to the top lane.
That's a great idea. One other thing to do, and it burns their vision and stuff. You can prevent them from de-warding you with it, for example, by taking it over to your side. I think he might have even gotten a ward with it. I feel like there was more OG wards here briefly, not too long ago. So Death Prophet picks up level 20 now. Health, Spirit Siphon, max, magic resistance. He is tanky.
They're gonna smoke on the wolf. Yeah. Ping, ping, ping. There is a wolf there because GH is walking around with the Gem of True Sight. So these wolves can't just scout everything anymore.
Oh, they can. I mean, it's still good to trade them for this death for a little bit of gold. I mean, vision is so much right now. And in a lot of ways, Lycan really fits OG's playstyle. I mean, historically, they're all spawn illusions, push lanes in a safe way with either Alchemist or TB. Lycan's very similar. Spawn the wolves, use the Helm of the Dominator creep. Doesn't matter what it is, go push the lane. You don't necessarily have to be there, but that kind of a lane push will change the game.
S4 is going to go for an Aghanim Scepter, so he's got enough to trigger the Lincoln Sphere on the Juggernaut, because he's got the Force Staff as well as the Yule Scepter, so this should be enough. But like directly into Aghanims after this, is there any other item which...
BKB would be the other one that you normally think of, and he may end up switching there depending on how his next fight goes. But Ags is pretty cool because he can even do stuff like lasso the creep next to Jug without having to break the Lincolns. And hypothetically, grabbing 2 heroes would be amazing, actually, for OG. Get 2 heroes grouped up, pull them close to Death Prophet, get a guaranteed double Boulder Smash follow-up stun. It definitely has some big implications here for OG. And a better way to make Batrider even stronger in a team fight in a lot of ways, rather than just being like, I'm going to make my one lasso better.
They're smoking and running. The haste room was too good for Batrider to pass up, and the Lycan Wolves are watching Warlock, so they know the Kuro is dead. They were hoping for more, but S4 scouting cannot find anything. Unless they can... Oh, okay, hello! No, we've got more! Mind Control pulled all the way up, rolling boulder him in. They still have to get the damage out. That's why the Exorcism is being burnt, and Resolution staying so close. So the BKB goes down to now 7 seconds on the Enchantress. They won't find the kill.
Did you see that JRX play there? He blinked in and Boulder smashed S4. Gave him a second Force Staff, dude. That was super cool. A little pat on the butt. launch him closer to his team. But as we've seen, they cannot kill Enchantress when she It's actually impossible. They needed a carry with like strong right click for this to work.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about Ursa and Livestealer in the drafting phase, but I suppose there isn't...
I would actually argue that Jarek's made a mistake going for the Bowler Smash. He actually needed to pause and wait for the lasso to be about over and then do the Bowler Smash for stun instead of the distance. Distance was not important, but preventing BKB was huge.
So hold him, because like you've seen how liberal Resolution's being with his exorcisms. Like that's the way we get damage into Enchantress.
Well, it's not just that. That can kill her through BKB, but if she's running away from you, it takes longer.
Yeah.
They need Exorcism, and they need, you know, all of their spells. Like, even Spirit Siphon, Batrider damage, all of that stuff would do way more for helping kill Enchantress pre-BKB. I don't know if they would have gotten her either way, but 2 seconds of her standing still with OG maximizing damage might have been a kill, and then maybe could have been them going high ground.
As far as being a real pain, it was like flame breaking the top while Liquid looking for the kill, but no one obliges. Jirax is pulling an AUI 2000, sitting in the trees on bottom, just continuously pushing.
There's a double agent Spywolf scouting out OG.
The Burrow Strike. S4, he's got a Yule Scepter available, 4-star to begin with, but he needs a Yule straight away too. Those impetuses from Mind Control just shredded him.
And that was all Mind Control stealing a Wolf there. They did not realize that they were being spotted, but the double agent Wolf, man, notice both of the cores, allows them to initiate on Batrider, and all of a sudden the whole game has changed. He's got to buy back here.
I thought this game was hot, but we just turned into the Cold War. OG on the defense. They're breaking the Linked Sphere of Juggernaut. Here goes your Burrow Strike in deep from GH. Look for that target. They all try and bounce back out again, but S4 gets the lasso. The rock, it only clips S4, and there's your kick all the way through from GH. Oh boy, hard for him to stand. Mind Control, I know you're untouchable, but you're in real deep, man. You're real deep. Now your BKB will wear off as well. He's on 53 HP. The Necrobooks will have to finish the job with the Lycan, but now you've got a stranded Dragon Knight all the way in the mid lane. Miracle begins his TP out. Matubman will not be so lucky. Is there a stun? Is there something to stop Miracle? There was nothing. Matubman will still die. The tier 3 talent takes heavy damage, but the timing of this fight couldn't be worse for Team Liquid. Roshan is back up and alive, and this is the 3rd Roshan. We've had so many, you're now giving Resolution the ability to have double Exorcism.
They were just so confident going high ground there with the Batrider kill and the Exorcism being on cooldown. It felt like Liquid's time to go, but with just the lasso, they were able to pick off the Sand King right away. That was a huge part of their team fight. And from there, they were able to chase down the rest despite not having Exorcism. So an Aegis pickup here for OG puts the game back in their hands.
It's Aegis pickup. They stole the Gem of Truth. They stole the Gem of True Sight.
The Refresher
No talent's got the Aegis. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's 2 Exorcisms now.
Not good for Liquid. They still have a gold advantage, but I feel like a hero like Dragon Knight right now is just not feeling very strong. He's very vulnerable.
So we can watch this push up high ground. Miracle's your front liner, and then everything breaks him.
I think there was an aggressive Burrow Strike. There wasn't really any ability for them to follow up here. There was a silence on Dragon Knight in this moment. Oh no, he pops BKB here, but there's just no follow-up there. They didn't feel comfortable. The creep wave is gone. Bottom tier 2 is taking damage in the meantime. They dropped the Warlock Golem, but it didn't quite stop Batrider from pulling back his friend, and now it's OG going high ground.
Yep, we're coming back live with S4 looking for that drag back on a friend, and there it is, Blink Lasso. He's looking for the back lines. They get the double kick back out. Resolution, he is stunned up, but that Exorcism is doing work. He's still got his BKB available, and with no Warlock, they don't have that big rock drop. Well, they didn't have it anyway. It's still on cooldown for 48 seconds. But this damage from Resolution is just too good. They give him the cheese. He still has the Refresher Shard sitting in his backpack. So Resolution, switch something in. He's switching his Phase Boots in. He's that confident he doesn't need the Refresher Shard. They take the melee racks, and OG, they just want to bail out. They got what they wanted. It's a full hit and run.
Game is now even in terms of gold, and a tactical advantage to OG as well. Now that they can kill the Shrines, they can use Wolves for this. Lycan's going to be very good at cleaning these up with his AC. And now Liquid's got to be pretty scared here. Dragon Knight ulti also used. And on OG's side, I guess they just pause, wait, slow this down a little bit, wait till their regular Exorcism, and then they can take another fight. But worst case, they've got Refresher Shard to back them up.
Octarine is now on that Death Prophet.
That is... Man, he is so... This is like the most farmed Death Prophet we've had all tournament.
It's not even just that. Like, you're getting a Nullifier in the build order now for Jirax. So the money is rolling in. It may be optimistic. He's at 3K gold right now, so it's not that out of the ballpark.
I mean, he can basically blink stun, prevent BKBs on a hero like Enchantress. It's certainly a good option. This is a lot of the way that OG's been using Earth Spirit late game. Has been he's their Sand King version, their Sand King swap out. He does different tricks in Sand King, not nearly as good at initiating late game, but if he can do Blink Boulder Smash really rapidly and follow up Nullifier, it's getting pretty similar. And the armor's not bad this game against Juggernaut, so OG itemizing in pretty weird ways, but it could give them the big advantage they need.
And what a state of the game. We have bounced up and down on the graphs. First, we had the little cat from Liquid, but they were the advantage in the first bump up. Then we just drop down, then we go straight back up again with the cat with a big ear. And then it's back towards OG, but the experience graph it's just as big. Like, man, this is just a game of swings.
It really is. And it's got to be scary for Liquid. Their ability to initiate late game is kind of reliant on either Sand King or Dragon Knight here. So that means they're going to do like a Burrow Strike with a Warlock Golem follow-up, maybe a Dragon Knight stun or Sand King stun, but that's one guy and a little bit of AoE here. Whereas OG has S4. Exorcism and Lasso.
Watch S4 like a hawk. He's the one. The Owl Rider, not even a Bat Rider, he's an Owl Rider in this game, looking for the target. Miracle, almost presenting himself with the lasso. Matama jumps in, S4, he's in the back line, he got Cora, there's only from him, but the bonus run from GX was great. Direct saved by the Shallow Grave and Fly, the Yule Center up, S4's alive as well. They did bring down Resolution as a huge streak to end. The Death Rock is out, but how much did you commit just to kill off Cora? S4 will also tick. Notel starting his TP, they regret their decision, OG. They did not start with the initiation they wanted. They pushed so hard for it, and Liquid punished them.
And it was worst case scenario, basically. They went on the Death Prophet. Jarex tries to jump in to counter-initiate. He also gets caught up in the stuns. Worst possible situation to be in. And a small mistake there by Fly, in my opinion. He used Weave aggressively. It's just outside the AoE of Death Prophet. I feel like if Death Prophet had Weave there, an extra 10 armor, everything changes.
So there's
maybe she'd stay alive. Here comes the Weave there. It just barely misses Resolution. That would have been a couple more, an extra plate mail worth of armor against his tower damage and all these right clicks. Jarex gets disabled. There's a two-man Burrow Strike. He ends up committing the grave on Jarex, thinking that Rezo could save himself, but he could not. Not survivable enough there. He's up in 30 seconds. Same as his Exorcism cooldown. So they just have to hold on until these two heroes get alive, or let the Rax fall and then play with their regular
Maybe right, just let it fall, but Matubman and Liquid so good to find the early attack. Notel, the BKB is out, so Epicenter is down for GH. That was the 10-second BKB of Notel being burned. Fortification as well. OG, maybe without Epicenter, maybe without that initiation or big team fight, Liquid will be happy with what they got. And yeah, it's just going to be a Rax for Rax trade-off in the mid lane for both of these sides.
Yeah, they should definitely be happy. That's the game's now even again.
Do you say it was an intentional bait from Notel? Come at me.
No. I mean, his whole plan is to stand on the high ground and let his Exorcism hit the tower. So in that way, no. That's his plan. He's like, I'm going to stand here. I know it's stupid. They can initiate on me, but my plan is my team will back me up. And they tried, but with Jarex getting caught in there as well, if that was just one person to grave, the grave would have gone on Death Prophet, and everything would be a little different. But with two heroes getting caught, maybe maybe Fly misclicked in terms of grave, but...
I mean, Liquid are coming. Straight down mid, they'll use the Mantra Illusions of Miracle to push out the lane. You do have G-Rex giving a nudge to the bottom, and OG are nearby. But Liquid under the cover of smoke. Who's going to be the closest one to it? The smoke breaks. Instant blink on the Fly. Lasso from S4. He gets hit by the Koro Rock. They are just locking down this Owl Rider. But with the Yule Scepter, Omni Slice is almost completely wasted. But Miracle, he has a double damage rune in this fight. The Rock will finally drop again from the death of Warlock. These stuns just chaining out. And OG have no real answer. Even the Shallow Grave from Fly. It'll buy some time for Resolution, but not enough. Down he goes. 3 heroes without buyback for OG, and this is the ticket to push, the ticket to ride straight down the mid lane and potentially into the quarterfinals.
Could this just be the end of the game here? I mean,
it could be.
They've got to hold on for a really long time here. I mean, this is tier 4 towers still.
You got 2 supports only to do this.
Liquid's got really good pushing. They have AC on Dragon Knight as well. He's still got his ultimate for a bit.
I like
no, they're going to do the safe thing.
Jarex has 6,000 gold. Like, is this when you buy some kind of item that can help you?
I'm not sure, like Glimmer Cape maybe, or no, they're going for the tier 4s. They're going to try to end it right now. They don't see the buybacks yet, so they know they can't come up.
Oh,
is this
boy.
it?
Bat Rider's up. He's got Lasso. They need to get a double Lasso kick into the fountain. That's the only way right now they can save themselves. They go with the Burrow Strikes. Jirac, oh, they got one. They're pulling him back. The Ancient is still exposed. They got him in range of the fountains of Miracle. Extra damage, but the Ancient, it's going down. Jirac goes back in once more. They need to hold the line. 1.1k, 900, 600, almost 0. It is 0. Team Liquid will take the game in 44-33. It was not clean. It was Swinger and OG. They have those 3